a WrestleMania 40 card mystery, major WWE debut plans, Matt Cardona shows up in AEW, and after the numbers did, in fact, lie in our first poll, I will be revealing the results of our second poll to objectively decide what is the best wrestling promo of all time. The Pipe Bomb or Steiner Math? I'm Ollie Davis, and this is the WrestleTalk News.
Support WrestleTalk!
I hope you had a lovely Easter and got all the eggs you asked for. But now it's time for pro wrestling to super kick the Easter Bunny in the face! Because it's WrestleMania week. Only 5 more sleeps until WrestleMania. And then only 1 more sleep after that until it's WrestleMania again. But who is the WrestleMania mystery? WrestleMania 40 isn't just big because it's literally XL in Roman numerals. It's also a number divisible by 10, which WWE typically treats as a big milestone event because it spells disaster for you, Samoa Joe. No, damn it, get out of my head! Get out of my head! WrestleMania 30, for instance, started with Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock sharing an in-ring promo for the surprise opening. Over the past few weeks, many legend names have been reported as possible cameo appearances. The Wrestling Observer wrote that Austin, The Undertaker and John Cena have been in talks with WWE about turning up at the show. WrestleVotes claimed the Rock-Cody beatdown angle from the 25th of March episode of Raw featured Cena, Austin and Trish Stratus on a production truck in the background as Easter eggs for a potential Mania surprise. And a number of other veterans have also been supposedly contacted, like Alundra Blaze, Bob Orton, Kane, Ron Simmons, Jerry Lawler, Jimmy Hart, Michelle McCool, JBL, and one name with the most storyline significance, Bloodline family member and Uso dad, Rikishi. Dave Meltzer has added more on the likelihood of Cena and or Austin appearing at Mania 40, writing he was told not to read into that regarding the main events, suggesting they will be at the show but won't actually get involved in the Bloodline vs Cody and Seth Night 1 tag match or the Roman vs Rhodes Night 2 main event. However, Meltzer reveals there is a mystery slot on the card for the show. For what it's worth, Cena has been publicly talking about how he's not doing anything on WrestleMania weekend, and he recently posted a photo of Roman Reigns on his super weird Instagram account. The 46-year-old has also repeatedly said he will retire from pro wrestling when he turns 50, which means he'll have until WrestleMania 43 to have one last Mania match. With The Rock not currently wrestling on Night 2 as he was originally planned, perhaps he could have an in-ring segment with Austin and Cena, recalling the famous Mania 30 opening, but airbrushing out Hulk Hogan with Cena. Or maybe the mystery slot is for arguably Rock's true arch-nemesis on and off screen, WWE's Chief Content Officer, Triple H. My video diving into their insanely mirrored careers and backstage jealousy went live at the weekend. Here's a clip. The first ever episode of SmackDown on the 26th of August would rightfully see The Rock in its main event, and it would also see Triple H's first ever world title defense. You could have argued that's the perfect place to put the belt on the beloved babyface the show's named after, but instead, we got Shawn Michaels' tiny referee shorts. It's like I'm wearing
nothing at all, nothing at all, nothing at all.
Stupid sexy Michaels. Michaels, despite retiring in early '98, had agreed to be the special guest referee for the inaugural SmackDown's main event. He called the match down the middle until rock bottom, running the ropes for a people's elbow, and HBK hits a sweet chin music, handing Hunter the win. But the physicality between them might have carried on backstage. Dwayne's father, Rocky Johnson, has recalled in an interview, Dwayne almost killed Heartbreak Kid. Watch that using a link in the video description. Open it up as another tab right now so you can watch it as soon as you're done watching this. We're all super proud of that video. It took a lot of research and writing, so please do share it around. Leave a comment, do the thumbs up button, all the algorithm tricks. 2 new matches were added to the WrestleMania 40 card on Friday's episode of SmackDown, which will see the Latino World Order's Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee taking on Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio in a tag team grudge match. And following Jade Cargill's, 5th main roster debut, she'll team with Bianca Belair and Naomi against Damage Control's Dakota Kai, Asuka and Kairi Sane. Cargill saved Belair and Naomi from a damage-control beatdown on the 29th of March episode, but in true Jeff Hardy style, not before she'd made her own entrance, slowly walking down like a badass. Different to her Royal Rumble appearance, she'd actually made the full version of her entrance earlier in the night, complete with laser curtain, smoke machine, and music that had riffs that sound like the X-Men theme tune. Na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Fitting with her Storm-like gimmick. According to Fightful Select, the specifics of Cargill's entrance have been worked on for some time, where they took advice on everything from camera angles, lighting, and sound. There are currently 12 announced matches for WrestleMania 40. If you're going by AEW standards, that's pretty light. Even more so with Mania split across 2 nights. But according to Dave Meltzer, there is still one match to be announced. The Pride versus The Final Testament. The Wrestling Observer has written that Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain is booked to be billed as a Philadelphia street fight to be added to the Mania card. The card, as of last week, was 7 matches on Saturday and 6 on Sunday. Perhaps there's only 6 matches on night 2 because that's when the mystery slot could take place. But that's not the only change expected to happen this week. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller beat the Street Profits on the 29th of March SmackDown, meaning they'll be included in the 6-pack tag team title ladder match at WrestleMania, which also includes champions The Judgment Day, DIY, The Awesome Truth, New Day, and New Catch Republic. But according to Meltzer, as of last week, Pretty Deadly were listed in Theory and Waller's place, and a backstage meeting is planned to discuss taking them out of the ladder match and putting Pretty Deadly back in. I don't know why that's happening. Waller then referenced this on X, posting a joke report attributed to the Wrestling Observer newsletter that A-Town Down Under is the best tag team in the world. This week isn't just about WrestleMania 40 though. Over to you, Tempest.
The latest and greatest in WWE video game technology has hit store shelves just in time for the 40th edition of WrestleMania. To celebrate such a momentous occasion, WWE 2K24 proudly presents 40 years of WrestleMania, the tournament, with the first confirmed competitor, Ollie Davis. The fuse has been lit for an explosive afternoon of virtual wrestling action, so make sure you tune in 3 p.m. British time on April 5th to see 40 years of WrestleMania the tournament only on Parts Unknown.
Subscribe to Parts Unknown to watch that on Friday. I know what you're thinking though. WrestleMania 40 Night 1 is going to be a great setup. WrestleMania 40 Night 2 could be the ultimate payoff. But you're all about the next big thing. You're all about Ram. Raw after Mania. It's Luke's thing. Well, it won't include NXT champion Ilya Dragunov. According to Fightful Select, there are no immediate plans to call up Dragunov to the main roster, but he's expected to be promoted once he loses the NXT championship. So not looking good for Tony D'Angelo at this Saturday's Stand and Deliver. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Who's fighting for that title. Debunking previous speculation, Dragunov isn't still in NXT because of his family living in Germany. In fact, WWE is accommodating Ilya, traveling back and forth to spend time with them. And, if anything, he's got a great reputation in the company because he's very well liked backstage. He's very easy to work with, elevates everyone he wrestles, and apparently needs very little direction from the producers, which is rare in NXT. But when Dragunov does eventually get called up, the main roster has big plans for him, with his push being described as similar to Gunther's initial run, who won the Intercontinental title 2 months after being called up, and still holds it to this day, almost 2 years later. The comparison with Gunther is exciting, not just because that should make Dragunov an incredibly exciting new presence on the main roster, but also because of their brilliant matches in WXW, Progress and NXT UK dating back to 2016. Hopefully Triple H decides to continue their forever feud. Speaking of shared histories, former Edge head Matt Cardona made his return to AEW on Saturday's episode of Collision, answering the Cope Oakland Challenge for the TNT title. Back when Cardona first started in WWE as Zack Ryder, he teamed with Kurt Hawkins as the Edgeheads in Copeland's 2007 faction, which, oh my god, is over 20 years ago. This is a far cry from Cardona's first appearance in AEW in 2020, shortly after he was released from WWE. Back then, he just seemed like Cody's mate, wrestling as his rider gimmick, but now under his new name. He got a pay-per-view victory over the Dark Order at All Out, but his limited appearance deal wasn't extended. Since then, Cardona has become the self-professed king of the indies, and PWI professed two-time Indie Wrestler of the Year, becoming a central heel on Impact, GCW and DDT. It was rumoured that he'd be joining his real-life wife, Chelsea Green, in WWE since the end of 2023, but that hasn't materialised. Copeland managed to retain and then set up a feud with Malachi Black afterwards. Apparently, Cardona was originally scheduled to defend his Squared Circle Expo Championship against Ultimo Dragon on the same night as Collision. This was changed, and Cardona instead dropped the title to Nick Nemeth, the former Dolph Ziggler, the previous night, freeing him up to fly to Canada and appear on Collision. As of right now, he is not signed with AEW and remains a free agent. It's now time to settle the pipe bomb versus math debate once and for all, no takey backses. If you've not been following this story so far, Luke outrageously picked Steiner Math in our best wrestling promos of all time episode of Tables, Lists and Chairs. I picked CM Punk's pipe bomb. And now, loads of comments keep saying that Steiner Math is better than Pipe Bomb, which is ridiculous and just a way to troll me. I ran a poll last Wednesday for 5,000 people to objectively decide the winner, and Steiner Math won with 64% of the vote, which was obviously bots. It was bots. So I had to do another poll, this time with a larger sample size of over 50,000 people. And now I can announce, and the winner is Steiner Math at 56%! God f***ing damn it! Wait a second. It's what date is it? It's the 1st of April. It's April Fool's! Okay, good joke, everyone. Pulled another one on good old Ollie. Ha ha, ha ha, ha ha ha. Right, okay, so you obviously can't be trusted to take this very serious topic seriously, so I'm going to have to take matters into my own hands. In tomorrow's episode, I'm going to tell Luke exactly how I'm going to prove Pipe Bomb greater than maths. Until then, please watch my video on the eternal rivalry of The Rock and Triple H.